Media bashing of the capital markets is a national pastime, both here in the United States as well as in Europe and the UK. I'm here with Tom Coombes, CEO of Cognito. Tom, what is going on in the marketplace? Why are the banks getting beaten up so much, and what can they do about it?
I think we've seen recently the startings of a groundswell of feeling amongst the communicators who work within these financial organizations that it's time to start taking control of the debate that's happening in the financial services. So we held a debate last week in London of about 100 or so members of the financial community who are involved in reputation management and corporate communications. And the general consensus coming from these people is that financial institutions inherently are not predisposed to communicate. So while there have been very legitimate criticisms of many aspects of financial services, because these institutions don't talk about themselves and don't talk very much anyway, the vacuum has been filled by the media and other people talking on their behalf. So the general consensus that we have found is that bankers and the financial industry itself needs to start taking control of the debate and contributing and commenting more vociferously about what they are doing and the absolutely essential role that financial services plays in running the economies of the world.
There's a lot to be said for that. I know, there's an old saying, showing up is half the battle, and it seems like the financial services industry, especially the institutional capital markets, have ceded the field to the opposition. The media are hungry for stories. They're looking for content. Yet, as an institution or as a sector, we are very sort of limited in what we've been putting out there. I mean, why is that? Is it a regulatory issue, or is it just sort of a cultural issue?
There are very legitimate reasons, as we all know, why the financial services industry cannot communicate like other sectors and other industries do, and I think we all absolutely accept that. But I think the financial services industry is guilty of not talking enough. And I think more than any other sector, the financial services sector believes that holding information is still powerful. That gives them power. Where it's widely and increasingly accepted and understood amongst the rest of the economy and different industries, particularly in the advent of a changing media landscape, social media, more tools available, that communicating and sharing information gives you power. And it's essential. People look for it. People expect organizations to communicate. They expect a regular flow of information. It's not a press release every quarter. It's information every day they expect from these places.
Well, that's interesting. I mean, the press release every quarter, that is old school. I mean, today's marketplace is dominated by Twitter, Foursquare, Facebook, Google+, all these social media tools, all these content outlets. But at the same time, these institutions are staffed by hundreds of lawyers who are determined, it seems like, to shut that type of communication down.
These people live in their ivory towers, and they do not understand that the communication arsenal that their individual employees have on a personal nature in their own pockets through the tools they have on their personal devices is more substantial than the communication tools that they have on their desktop provided by the banks. And these people will communicate anyway. So we're seeing this big trade-off in a way between the organizations which understandably have to control and restrict the amount of communication going on with people who now understand and want to communicate more frequently, whether it be on behalf of themselves or their organizations. So we're seeing this battle internally between the organization and the departments trying to push services and products. And we find that the walls are starting to come down. Departments are being allowed to use tools more and communicate more. The legal teams are frantically running around approving series of tweets that need to go out. And the infrastructure is starting to change, and the processes are starting to be built for these organizations to be able to take advantage of the vast power that these tools can give them, albeit they have to do it correctly.
If I'm a medium or large, let's say, sell-side institution, I'm running a line of business or a department, how can I start this process of opening up the communication flow, the social media flow? What are the first few steps I need to take?
Well, we see it in so many places. The first step is to open up these tools and look and listen to what is being said about them already. Because for the most people, once they open and they turn these things on and they search for their organization's name on however remote or niched social media site they think it might be, they find that people are talking about them anyway. They find that, and they find that their competitors are doing it. So first there's this period of realization and this sort of Damascus moment where they see that not only are these tools relevant and they're being talked about anyway, so they might as well represent themselves, but then secondly, they provide a very powerful and measurable way of getting their voice out in the market.
Well, Tom, thank you very much for joining us here at Tabb Forum. A very interesting topic. I know we're going to hear more about this. Hopefully the media bashing will end soon, and I also think that I'm hopeful that the capital markets will start to stand up and sort of tell the world what we're actually doing.
Thank you.
Thank you.